Hey everybody, it's Scott Steen with winnersandwhiners.com. It's Friday, everybody. TGIF, you have made it through another week. Congratulations. It is Today in Sports Betting Part 1, where your favorite co-host takes a look at the NBA, and we're going to do the same here tonight. We got two exciting games. Scott, are you chomping at the bit? How'd you do yesterday?
I did well overall. I had the Clippers minus 8.5. I got it early as my play of the day. Went up to 9.5. I said the Nuggets would struggle offensively. I said that I leaned to the under as well because I didn't think the Nuggets would reach 100 points. And they got to 97 as they got absolutely just wrecked.
Curb stomped.
Yeah. It's going to be a long series for the Nuggets. Actually, no, technically it's going to be a short series for the Nuggets. But, yeah, I thought the Clippers would win in 4 or 5, and I'm not surprised. This team, especially with Beverly back, I know he only played 12 minutes, but defensively, they just put the clamps down.
Well, we want to see. I'm curious to see. We're going to learn a lot, I think, in Game 2. We'll see how how much of it is tired legs and how much of it is just an actual difference in skill. I got a bad feeling for the Nuggets, but we'll see. I think we'll learn a lot more.
I'm still curious. I said before the playoffs, I think the Clippers are the best team in the league, and you gave me a little bit of a backlash on that one. I'm curious. Have you swayed a little bit, or you're still in the Lakers?
You've convinced me. I'm convinced, and I'll let you know after tonight. But I'm convinced they're probably the best team in the West. I'm still not convinced they're the best team in the league. The East has really shown me something. I've been pleasantly surprised at the level of play. Number, of course, by the two underdogs, by Boston and by Miami. Those teams.
Boston series got a little bit interesting based on what happened yesterday.
It did, and I had the under there, and that was pretty much a lock the entire fourth quarter.
Mm.
And I thought they were gonna backdoor us there and get a little overtime cover, but a little backdoor cut.
What an inbound pass!
Beautiful. Well, I was going to say on the play before that, on the beautiful pass. The no look pass for the flush.
Kemba Walker is just one of those guys who you just want the ball in their hands in the last 10 seconds. Guaranteed.
That was fantastic. Of course, they left a half a second on the clock. Who knew that was too long?
How about Brad Stevens for having the presence of mind to putting Taco Fall in to guard the inbounder? Respect.
Taco Fall sighting. Yeah, it was. It should have worked.
It should have. He had a -3 in plus minus in 0.5 seconds, but it should have worked. I mean, I love the move. I mean, I've been saying you should probably put your tallest guy on the inbounder for a long period of time, and then they took him off the bench. What an inbound pass. Now, I know that the Celtics completely butchered actually guarding Anunoby. I might have left him open also because I thought there was no way Lowry would even get the pass over Taco Fall, let alone on the money. That was a perfect pass.
The only place it could go. He had arc it over so far over Taco Fall that there had to be some distance on it.
But it also couldn't be too high because Anunoby couldn't jump for the ball, and he had to watch the baseline the sideline as well. It was just on the money.
Yeah, it was a beautiful play, and my fears of getting backdoored in overtime did not materialize.
As soon as you saw the ball inbounded, you're like, "Oh, I win."
It was a very nice shot by Anunoby and a very nice pass. Sorry, Taco Fall. Big Taco fan, but
I liked him in college, and I liked him in Mamadou N'Diaye as a massive throwback for other college fans. UC Irvine, the other 7'6" guy.
Nice.
They played each other once. I remember it was like their junior year. They played against each other. It was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. You had like a 7'6" guy and a 7'6" guy just guarding each other, and both teams are playing zone, so every shot's getting punted in the middle. It was hilarious.
So, of course,
you're find highlights of that online, but
you're too young to remember Manute Bol, who was also, I believe, 7'6".
Well, you had him. I remember also recent years, you had Sam Boular from New Mexico State, who was also like 7'5". He was like 7'5", 350 pounds.
Yeah.
I remember him. I had a lot of fun times betting unders with both UC Irvine and UCF when both of them were in college, because any shot near the rim was getting punted into the fifth row.
Yeah, I could see that. So, how'd you end up doing on your plays of the day? You do okay?
Yeah, I got the Clippers minus 8.5. It was a sweat-free winner. I really wasn't even worried. To be honest, I barely watched the game because I was sweating out as an Islanders fan, I was sweating out the double overtime game.
I know.
And anytime you give up 4 goals on the first 15 shots, you kind of assume that once you break 50 and it's still in overtime, it's not going to go well. And it did not go well. The Islanders outplayed them the entire way. I can't even blame Varlamov for some of the goals because a lot of them were involved with screens or terrible defense. And Mayfield should never be allowed to shoot the puck ever again. He ended up shattering his stick, but he's just an awful offensive defenseman. So he should just pass the puck every time he gets it. But, we're going to 7. Before the series, I had the Islanders winning in 7, so I'm not surprised that it's going 7. But I think the biggest shocker to me was Vancouver actually forcing a Game 7 yesterday.
What happened to Vegas?
Vancouver's goalie's gone nuts. Markstrom got injured. They brought in this backup goalie, and he's allowed 1 goal in 91 shots.
Vision. You there?
Yeah, I'm back. I don't know why my Wi-Fi just keeps having it's just dumb. But I'll figure it out, and I'll make sure I got it correct. But anyway, Vancouver. But you asked me about Vegas. So so Vegas has outshot Vancouver in every single game in the series. And yet Vancouver's starting goalie got injured. They brought in this backup guy, Demko. He's saved 90 of his first 91 shots faced. So Vancouver, it's not like Vegas has played badly. They just ran into a goalie who just turned into Marty Brodeur.
He's on fire.
Yeah, and they play again today. And I know Demko had some cramp issues at the end of the third period, so I'm kind of curious if that's going to linger. I know Vegas is like minus 220, so people still think Vegas is going to kill them. But Vegas outplayed them in every game. It's just Vancouver has a goalie that just woke up and became basically Neo from the Matrix. So I am kind of curious how this is going to play out in Game 7.
Yeah, and we did well. We did with 3-0 on the prelims. We had the just like you, we had the LA Clippers to cover. That was an easy cover there. That was truly a rocking chair game from the beginning. Had the Boston Toronto game, and that was going along right about on schedule. They hit a nice little dry spell there with about 5 minutes left. Worked out well for us. And of course, we had USA in South Alabama plus 13.5 points, which we of course did not need. So nice down the premium side, nice little 5-0 run here over the last couple of days. And by the way, if you're interested in getting down on some of my premium picks, check out the premium pick tab at winnersandliners.com. Shameless plug is now over. So Scott, let's take a look at these basketball games for tonight, my brother. We're starting off with the a team that's looking to stay out of some serious trouble. The Milwaukee Bucks. And,
I think they're already in serious trouble, but they're entering point of no return territory.
Well, yeah, that's they can certainly recover from the trouble they're in now. It's a good thing that they're in the bubble right now, because if they were headed to Miami for 3, it would be although they play 2-3-2
No, 2-3-2 used to be the final setup, but for the Eastern Conference semis and everything before that, it's just 2-2. 1-1.
Okay, so back in the day.
Then again, you can make the argument that if the first games were in Milwaukee, they might not be down.
Yeah, and I get that. I totally understand that.
I think they would have lost Game 1 anyway. I think Game 2 they probably would have won in Milwaukee.
And the odds makers, Scott, they kind of refuse to adjust the line here. It's once again Miami 5.5. Now I do have a premium play on this, so we're going to talk from my end about the total. Where are you at on the side?
I got a premium play on this. I got my play of the day on the side as well.
Perfect.
So I guess we're talking totals here. But what I do know is that for just talking about the actual line itself, without giving too much away, is the fact that people always wonder why Vegas hasn't adjusted any of the lines or why the lines might stay the same. The fact that this line has gone up from -5 to 5.5 tells you exactly what you need to know about why this line was put at 5. Yeah. It's because people are still betting on Milwaukee at 5.
Yep, you're absolutely right.
The whole point, people have to remember that Vegas's goal, or whoever's making the lines, is to get even action on both sides. That's really the goal, because you can collect on the juice afterwards. So you're kind of hoping that you end up getting, for the most part, you can agree, a 50-50 line split is really not that bad for Vegas. That's usually the quote-unquote goal, so they don't have much liability on one side or the other.
Yeah, I mean, that used to be the case 10, 15 years ago. That was their whole goal. But now with loss mitigation and everything,
it's definitely shifted.
They're not afraid to take a side that they think they have an advantage on.
They're not afraid, but I think you can agree that it's definitely it. Of course, the main thing you have to learn about sportsbooks, so the main goal is to limit as much liability as you can. And if you can get yourself 50-50 on both sides, then you're just collecting juice every single time, and you're just going to make a profit. So that's I'd say that's still a decent goal. I think Vegas is a little bit more lenient when it comes to actually taking sides nowadays, but I think that they still would prefer to have 50-50s if they could. So the fact that Milwaukee, in my opinion, you can disagree with that if you want, but the fact that Milwaukee's still taking money at -5 tells you why Milwaukee opened up at -5.
Well, and I think, we talked about this total a little bit, and you just look at the stats for guys that are going to go, I'm going to study the stats, and then you look at, well, the last game went over, the first game went under, so I'm going to play the over again. But what you forget is how many free throws they shot in that last game. They shot in.
I had the under in game 2, so just don't remind me. What was it, 71? It's 71 free throw attempts?
71 free throws is what they shot in game number 2.
And it still only went over by about 8 points.
That's what I'm saying. So, again, this line hasn't adjusted much as far as that total goes.
Do you think that the referees are going to swallow the whistles a bit more after the ridiculous ending in game 2?
Yes. Yes, I do. I think we saw it. We saw it in the Clippers game last night, and I think we're going to see it in this game too. I think they've received man, it's a shame they have a new commissioner, because I could have said they received a stern talking to. However, I'll just say that they maybe crossed their palms with some silver.
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know what it is once you reach a certain age.
The only thing I know is regardless
of bad dad jokes.
The only thing I know is that whichever call the referees make, I can guarantee you Steve Javy will agree with it. I'm leaning under as well. It's a matter of, we can't really talk about the sides because I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I got you. But
I'm pretty sure we're kind of in agreement on the side, but we can't really talk about it.
I think they had Doris calling that game the other night. I think she
roasted the hell out of him. It was hilarious.
She was exactly right too.
Yeah, it wasn't a foul. She called Steve Javy out. It was really funny.
And you know what? Later on SportsCenter, I don't know if you watched it, he came back and actually said that he made a mistake and she was right. He said the more he watched it.
Believe me, I think we all knew that she was right when we watched it live.
Yeah. I've seen less homers on The Simpsons, is what I'm saying there with the referee. So, we're both on this under 223. I don't think that's going to
go. Am I really sold on the under? Maybe not necessarily like an auto play, but I think that you have a better chance of cashing the under than the over.
Yes, and I also think that at this point, as we talk, I think it's possible this line could go up. I think we could catch that at 223.5, maybe even 224 by the end of the day.
I think it will keep climbing. I think people are going to overreact because Giannis had 30-something points. And
yes.
I get it. Giannis actually shot well from the foul line, and Middleton had 12 free throws. 71 free throws there, helping you get an over. That's not something you really want to rely on when it comes to
and we talked about Middleton and Lopez not being able to contribute 52 points again, and that's exactly what happened. So.
Middleton actually did better than – he didn't shoot well, but he got to the foul line a lot, so I'll give him props there.
He did. I'll play the
Lopez had 8 points in the first 2 minutes, and then he did nothing for the next 3 quarters.
Agreed. I got the under there as well with you. And on this next one, I do have a side on that one as well, but I'll tell you what, I'm in love with this. I love this. It was a hard thing for me to decide which to play. I'm all over the under here. I think this Lakers defense combined with a tired Houston offense, I think we're going to see a lot of the same kind of thing that we saw last night.
You mean from Denver, from fatigue?
Exactly. A game, this schedule it's nice for fans. You don't have a lot of downtime.
It's brutal for the players on a game.
Brutal for the players. Every other day.
It's basically March Madness. You're just throwing people out every other day.
I think these guys would rather play back-to-back and then have 2 or 3 days off than the schedule they're under right now. So, and I think it becomes a huge advantage later in the playoffs when one team has, a day off and the other one has 3 or 4 off. I think that's
a huge advantage. But I know for the sake of this actual game, I was really torn on both sides, so I didn't give out a play today on it. I wanted to look at the under, and I'm also leaning to the under as well. But there is a chance that the Lakers' bigs are just so overwhelming that the Lakers end up just putting up 120-something points based on offensive rebounds, etc. I'm expecting the Lakers to shoot 40-something free throws in this game. And that sounds crazy, but every time they drive to the hoop, they're basically going to get either fouled or a wide-open layup. Because they're going to have P.J. Tucker at the center guarding Anthony Davis. And I think that they're going to get absolutely demolished on the inside. The Lakers are probably going to out-rebound them by 25.
That's not even
an exaggeration.
Could be a lot of posterizing in this game.
Correct. So I was a little bit torn on the over/under because there is a chance that you're relying on Houston to score like less than 108 points because the Lakers could easily put up 115, 120 based on the fact that they're going to get so many offensive rebounds, etc. I would lean to the under anyway because Houston has slowed the pace down dramatically, especially in the second half of games. The Lakers are very solid defensively. You have to wonder if it will take a couple of maybe a quarter or two to fully adjust all the three-point shooting that Houston has. But the Lakers defensively have been great, and Anthony Davis can switch on to anybody. I think the Lakers will go relatively small, though. I think they probably will move Anthony Davis to the center, and I think they'll go a little bit smaller in order to match up with Houston, which could bode well for the over potentially. But I'll link to the under. Houston's been an under team in the playoffs, and I'm not going to until I actually see the matchup, I'm not going to assume that both teams are going to go for 110, 120 plus. So I'm going to lean under there. For the side, I was really torn. I don't really have a thought on the side, honestly. It's kind of just – it's really a tough line to crack, at least in my opinion. I'll lean Lakers because of the rest advantage, but I really had no interest in the side because Houston is so tough to prepare for that I really think it could go either way.
Can I interest you in Houston under 109.5?
I said it would be around 108 or something like that, which sounded, yeah. I guess I'd lean under, but once again, the Lakers just finished playing against Portland. I guess Portland might actually help them transition for this series because all Portland does is shoot threes also. Right. They have a lot of big men, so you might have to rotate a little bit, but Portland loves to shoot threes, and all Houston does is shoot threes. And I'm curious, with the fatigue angle, will that cause some jump shots to fall a bit short in the second half? And I guess we shall see. But I'll lean to the Lakers very tentatively, not interested, and I'll lean to the under. So That's kind of my thoughts, but that Lakers game I really didn't want to touch, at least for game one. I kind of want to see how they play each other and then reassess for game two.
All right, good enough. I have a very different opinion on the side, and
we'll see.
We'll see how that goes. But you and I both, kind of check in with the under on this game as well. So there you go, everybody. That's an NBA show for today. We appreciate it. And make sure that you check out winnersandwhiners.com for deep dives into every game, Scott, all the NBA, all the NHL, plus baseball, as always, and UFC. I know you're going to be doing the UFC show, and that's a good thing. We're going to be talking a little college football, a little NFL next week. We got a lot on our plate, brother. It's going to be a lot of fun, and it happens all right here on winnersandwhiners.com. So make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't done so already. I don't think I implore you guys enough to do that. Make sure you click that box, click the bell, make sure you get notified each and every time Scott and I put up a new video. And, of course, that includes videos from himself and videos from me as well. So you'll be covered all the way around, one-stop shopping when it comes to sports betting.
Looking forward to it.
Absolutely. So everybody take care. Good luck on all your plays today. Should be a fun Friday. Got a lot of action going on. And, of course, click that next video. Make sure you check out Scott and I doing the MLB on Today in Sports Betting Part 2. Thanks for joining us today. We look forward to seeing you next time on Today in Sports Betting. Have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.